Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the GR Wisdom channel. I'd like to thank all you guys for tuning in, new and old subscribers. If you're just not clicking on one of my videos, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button along with the bell. That way you receive all the notifications for all my future videos. Like I said, I spoke on this earlier that I was going to do this topic. And many of you who may have been watching my videos in the past have heard me speak on it. This is something that we all in this manosphere, this whole YouTube thing, that we all tend to come across and we tend to talk about. And, we watch all these videos and we watch things about, things being so horrible. And the goal and the lesson is to not treat everyone the same and all women shouldn't be treated the same and things like that. But, I don't think I've ever come across an actual video where someone has actually done this. Now, the first disclaimer I just want to say is that no one is perfect. You, man, woman, whoever, no one's perfect. Everyone's been through stuff, but this is not a video to learn, for lessons learned or anything like that, or anything to be gained from it. This is just my personal experience. This is not the gospel, so for anyone jumping in my comments, you can beat it, because everyone lives their own life individually. This, as I said, this is what I've learned, not what you've learned or not what you experienced or how much you try to say what is and what isn't. So, that's the first thing. Is I just want to get that clear, get that out there, that no one is perfect. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination perfect. I got my issues just like everyone else. And as I say with a lot of, when you come to a point at a certain age, it's virtually impossible to come across a woman that doesn't have children. That's where this search, where you really have to dig deep. For the most part, a lot of people, some women can't have kids. Some women have kids that are grown, which is, another thing is when you're getting into the late 30s, early 40s. But for those of us, which I'm speaking for this group of those of us in our 30s and stuff like that, or in our late 20s, a lot of times it's going to be hard to actually date or get to know someone who doesn't have kids. Now, the first thing when you're, based on my experience of how this goes, is when you're dating a woman who has kids, the time, allotted, or the time that you're able to spend with this woman is going to be very limited. That's the first thing you need to understand. So as far as having an actual, and people will try to argue this, but hey, this is what it is. As far as a man wanting to spend time with a woman, it's going to be very limited. You know what I'm saying? So this is the first issue. This is a big issue that I've ran into, especially, and you can word it however you want to word it. Some people say, hey, you're being needy, you're being this, you're being that. Hell no. If I'm trying to talk to a woman, I'm trying to spend time with this woman. I'm not trying to spend time with her kids or her right off. Just constantly, like, once a week seeing a woman, because that's where things open up with women. Women say they want a man, but there's not that much time being dedicated to a man. So this is where men often get into dating other women or seeing multiple women because they don't get enough time from that one woman in particular. So this is a complaint that women will say, but yet still they'll say, well, I'm doing my best to make time for you. That's understandable, but this is one of the things from my experiences that you'll run into as far as dating a woman who has kids. Young kids, obviously, young kids or older kids, because she's going to, especially if she's not close to her family, she's going to have a hard time finding a babysitter. And you have to plan your schedule around hers. You know what I'm saying? And she has to plan her schedule around her kids, which is just a whole, logistics issue in itself. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those things. Or maybe you just might not be that guy, and she'll make time for this one guy who she's really interested while she's entertaining you. So this is one of the biggest issues of dating a single mother. single mother who has. Then you have women who have multiple kids, and you have women who have multiple kids by different um, fathers, which is that's a red flag going off in itself. When you see that, when you have a woman that has 3, 4 kids, and she's got 3 or 4 kids by 3 or 4 different baby daddies, that should be a signal. That should be a red flag going off. Now, a lot of times these women are, you see these women. These women are very beautiful women, gorgeous women, and they are in this state right here. Not to say that anything can't happen, but this is this is something that occurs, and you find this out. So that should be an immediate red flag. Uh, Many of these women are dependent on either these guys. A lot of these guys that they have had kids for are dysfunctional, um, are either in, could be in jail for the most part, and these women tend to not be married a lot of times. And like I said, this is just my experience. You know what I'm saying? They tend to not be married, but um, as I said on another video, they'll brag about their ability to be able to get another man other than you. So as far as the potential of you taking, the possibility of you taking a woman serious like this, you know, should be very low. Especially the first sign that you hear a woman, especially like that's the number one sign is when you see she has multiple kids by multiple dudes. But when she'll say something like she's able to get another guy like that, or based upon her looks, you know, you can't take that shit seriously. You can't even invest in something like that. A lot of times, if you have the first question I always say is you have to ask yourself, how by you dating this woman is it making you a better person? If all you're getting out of, and this is the biggest thing, which these women will say is, well, you're getting the privilege of having sex, of getting to have sex with me. You just got to sit back and analyze it objectively. Like, if that's all that it is that you're getting out of this situation, what's the fucking point? You know, really sit back and what is it? What is it that you're gaining from the situation? She, in the meantime, could be gaining. You could be paying some of her bills. You could be buying her kids shoes. You could be imputing wisdom into this woman that she hasn't gotten from any of these other clowns that she's dated in the past. You could be that motivational tool for her that she's looking for every day, that beacon of light, that something that she hasn't gotten, that voice of reason, because she has been living a life of dysfunction. And every man in the past has been paying a bill or simping and willing to pay a bill, pay a car note, help out with all this stuff. That shit is easy for a woman. But you have rare people who care about your well-being and is willing to instill that independence in you. Because a lot of times you come across single mothers who are dependent. They are dependent, or they have several dudes who are actually, paying a bill or funding something in their life. So if you're not with that program, then you're out the window. You know what I'm saying? If you're the purpose for your existence in this woman's life is to fund her, then you don't need to be in that. You're so much more than, especially if you're a man that got your shit together. If you're a man that has your stuff together. If you got a job and you're able to pay all of your bills, you're not dependent. You have your own place to stay. You got your own car. You got your own means of supporting yourself. Why waste your time, especially if you're getting into arguments with, if any sign of something that's taken away from you as a person or causing stress in your life, what is the purpose of further investing? And a lot of these times, these women, because they have so many men after them because of their looks, they become so pretentious and get to that point where saying, well, I can just get another one. You can get another one. You can get another one. That's just gonna be a dick added to the list at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And how long are you gonna be in this state of doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's easy come, easy go. You know what I'm saying? But as far as someone taking you seriously, I mean, these are just my experiences. I've been in a position twice where I've dated single mothers who have actually lived with another man at the time, and it's just like, you know, because neither one of them can make it on their own. Or she's dependent on this man even though she's doing her own thing. You know what I mean? She's dependent on this man to support her because she can't step out on her own. But a lot of these women, you motivate them, you show them another way, you show them how to get money, you show them how to, you know, and it's just like you're just another dick at the end of the day. So my advice, man, it's not even fucking worth it. You know, if sex is the thing, then go on about your business, man. But at the end of the day, anything other than that is it's not even worth it because a lot of them have been at the game so long they've become desensitized to certain things, and trying to convince them otherwise, it's not even that. Men need to realize what you need to realize as men is that you're the prize, not the woman. In these positions like this that I'm talking about, you're the prize, especially if you're a man who's got your shit together. Is what I'm getting at. If you're just some old bum on the street, then it is what it is. But if you have a man if you're a man that has your shit together, you got so many fucking options than to waste your time and become stressed out and have a woman make you feel like you're less than what you are when you really are that valuable of an asset. Especially, I'm talking about as far as in the heterosexual community. You're a straight man, you got your shit together, you know, you don't have any dysfunction. You don't have multiple baby moms, multiple baby mothers. You know, you may have a kid, but you're able to support yourself. You got your car, you got your house. You're self sufficient. There's no reason why you should adopt any of these problems. You know, any of these issues. There's no reason in the world why you should take upon another man's issues, another man's problems, because these women who have multiple baby fathers, they still have to deal with a lot of times these men, or they are like traces of what they have going on, you know, with these men that they have dealt with in their past. You know what I mean? That's good. Don Calypso said, childless black men who have their lives together should be off limits to single mothers. You have to value yourself and know that it's so much more. You are a commodity at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's so much geared towards, you know, some women feel like just because they have access to all of these men who are vying for their attention, that shit doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. It means nothing. You know, you have this many people and these many guys in your inbox. You have this many guys trying to talk to you. You got this many guys trying to buy you drinks. It doesn't mean anything. And for you dudes, do not become one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? You try to talk to a woman. If you want to date a single mother, that's cool. I'm not saying that, you know, do don't date a single mother, but I'm just saying don't put this woman up on a pedestal where you're adopting and bringing on all these problems on yourself, and you made to feel like you're less, and she makes herself feel like you should be honored. You know, you should be honored to be able to enjoy her company when it's been maybe 100 or hundreds of men who have enjoyed her fucking company before. You know, and you fall into simping and trying to impress her when it's many men who haven't even had to go through that. You know, It boggles my mind how you can be so pretentious and you don't bring anything to the table but ass. You know what I mean? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. You know what I mean? You know, don't go beyond. Don't compromise yourself as a man. Do not compromise yourself as a man to please a woman that can't do anything for you. Really, that can't help you out any other way. Is just gonna stress you out. You know, and you're trying to. A lot of times, you guys, which is nothing wrong with trying to help a woman. But a lot of times, you guys are trying to help a woman, and she is still gonna end up disrespecting you or not appreciating the shit at the end of the day. You know, and it's just beyond me. So if you can avoid it, especially if you're planning on having a serious relationship, and at my age, that's where I'm at. I'm not trying to be playing around in the streets. I'm just trying to have a serious relationship. I'm not trying to get involved in all this foolery, all this foolishness. Either get with the program or not. You know what I'm saying? Get with the program or not, or just go find the next one. And the other thing is when you're dealing with these single mothers, they have kids, so you have this concept of women saying constantly. I know you constantly hear, "My kids come first. My children will always come first." And if you have that mindset as far as dating, then a real man definitely is not going to take you seriously. My kids come first. That's cool and all that, but in a serious relationship, your kids don't come first. That man comes first. You know what I mean? So your kids don't come first. The man comes first, especially on some serious stuff. But I guess you're saying, how do I know about a man being serious about me? But that's something you got to figure out. But if you come in with that shit to the table when your kids don't pay the bills, your kids don't do anything for you, especially you women who have your sons as little boyfriends that you're raising or men in the house, let that little dude pay the bills. Let that dude take you out to dinner. Let that dude, please you in bed, if that's the case. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. It just makes you say the hell with it. You know. So anything like that, you get involved and there's a disagreement, don't, and especially don't ever chase after a fucking single mother. Don't ever chase after them. She should be chasing you about, like I said, if you're a man of means and got your shit together, she should be chasing after you. If you're a good man, you know, objectively, as you look at yourself in the mirror. If you're a good man, she should be chasing after you. That's how the game is, but that's not how it is these days. It's not like that. It's definitely not like that. Dudes chase after whatever. As long as they can get sex out of the deal or something like that, they'll do whatever and they'll compromise themselves as a man. And this cycle goes on and on. But what else? The kids. You're dating a woman who has kids, right? Single mother who has kids. The kids are disrespectful. She doesn't want you to say anything to the kids because she's raising the kids to be her daughter to either be her best friend or the son to be her boyfriend or her baby. So you can't say anything to either one of them, and these kids are, probably even get to the point where they're disrespecting you. And she's not doing anything about it, but letting the kids sit back and disrespect you. This is another thing. This is you gotta take the pros and cons. You gotta weigh all these things and look at how much it is that you're bringing to the table as opposed to this, especially with these kids. You're adopting a whole lot of other shit, by especially if you don't have any kids. Even if you do have kids, you have to take upon this other load with these kids, who have probably seen multiple men in and out their mother's life, or have lived with multiple men in the house. Uh, and this is another thing that I don't see how it's just some some women have been humbled, some women haven't been humbled. You know what I mean? Maybe, but time humbles everyone, especially when those looks start to fade and everything starts sagging. So just keep that in mind. You know, which I want to do a separate video on that, on just telling men that you are the prize. You know, not the other way around when it comes to this. You have women who are a prize. These are women who obviously got their shit together. They're breadwinners. They're self sufficient. They're independent. They're making money. They're beautiful. All this other stuff. You have some of these women, but they're few and far between. So, but realize that if you're just a man who ain't got shit, don't have nothing going for him, and you're dependent on a woman to take care of you, then by all means, you deserve a woman to treat you in that way. Because you're dependent on a woman to take care of you. But other than that, you got your shit together. You got your own house. Once again, like I said, you got your own house. You got your own car. You got all this stuff going for you. Hell no. She needs to get with your program. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. First sign, you need to cancel that. But I'm done on this live stream, man. It's been cool this evening. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. The chat's been quiet this evening, so with that being said, let me hear what you guys got to say. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Charlotte. You can go ahead and rewind it, replay it, whatever. It's been pretty quiet in here tonight anyway. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream or chat. Peace be upon you all. I'm out of here.